Hi, good morning. This is the Geo Scheduling Call. I'm recording it anyway, even though Fabian will not be joining today as he's on leave. So what I thought I would do is just share my screen and talk through what I'm doing and how I'm thinking about things. And then we'll see what happens and if I should upload the recording. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is open up the build board and see what's going on at the moment. And I'm going to share that screen so that people can see what I'm doing. All right, so you should hopefully be able to share, to see the Geo Kanban build board on the right-hand side, just quickly scrolling down to see what's closed. Right, okay, in review, support replication for Docker registries. I know that when I haven't caught up on everything on my email either, so there'll be some things that I'm catching up on the call as well. So I know that there were a couple of things still outstanding from Valeri's perspective. He was doing a review of this with Gabrielle, as far as I understand. So let's just see what's outstanding here. Great, we've got a look. It looks good to me. That's brilliant. Okay, and this one here is the documentation side of things. Okay, all right, so that's quite close to being wrapped up now. Okay, in progress here we've got 8 items. The non-tracking prevent non-empty tracking database. Let's have a look. Okay, so Douglas has only just started on this, so I don't expect to see an MR yet. So I'm going to close that one for now. Investigate if updating the tracking is necessary. Okay. When was this assigned? Okay, this was picked up yesterday as well. Not needed in the instruction is supposed to be of 9. I will fix the docs. Okay, so there's a merge request that's open here. And the latest here is the doc looks fine. Ah, Tone's busy on it 20 minutes ago. Okay. Right, so that's also in progress. It's nearly done. So this one might actually be in review then, because of that status on the merge request. Let's quickly go back here. So Gabrielle's done the work and Tone's busy having a review of it. Okay, I'm going to move this into review because it seems that that's more representative of what it is, state that it's in. Right. Mike has picked up push over HTTP secondary. The MR is still work in progress. Okay, just have a quick look at the work in progress one here. Okay, that still looks like it's in development, so we'll leave that alone. Right, this large one here about object storage. I know there was still quite a bit for Gabriel to take care of, and he's been working on the Docker reviews. So let's just see if there's any latest comment. No, it was a week ago that the latest comment is, so let's look at the MR. It's still work in progress here. Let's see what the latest is. Okay, so yesterday he was still doing something. Okay, so we'll leave that. Yeah, that's still code that needs to be done in a separate MR that he will do later today. Right, we'll leave that alone. Okay, next one. Investigate the Geo update process using Omnibus. That's Fabian's assigned to that and he's on leave, so I'm going to skip. Okay, this one is blocked still for a rake task that's failing. I know infrastructure's been quite busy, so we're just going to leave that one alone. Right, what is support custom hooks blocked on? Let's see. Support custom hooks is blocked on. Okay, here we go. take a step back and rethink how custom hooks work. So I would suggest starting with that and then add support for Geo. Okay, so I'm going to need to dig into this and understand what's going on here to see if I can help push this forward. So I'm going to leave that one where it is, but I need to make a note that this is something that I need to do. So let me quickly copy this out into my little notepad. I'm not sharing that part of the screen because there's a whole bunch of stuff in there. Okay. Hey, Tone.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm just here lurking.
Oh, that's fine. I'm busy talking to myself so that I can potentially upload the recording.
Do you rather do that? Because then I'll leave you alone.
No, it's fine. Please feel free to join. At least then I'm not talking to myself. So I was busy looking at support custom hooks, and it looks like I need to dig into that and make some kind of decision there. So I've put that on my to-do list for after the call.
I've seen it roughly, but I'm not fully aware. I think the plan was to take it one step back and look at how we can re-implement it, and then look into it how we could handle it or something like that.
Yeah, it looks like it's not as straightforward as just supporting it. It looks like there's something that's slightly strange about the implementation as it stands now. So I'll have a dig into that and see how I can help unblock that after the call.
Yeah.
So the next one on the list is the RSpec Geo PG10 jobs are failing in master. So I see that you actually, oh, I'm glad you jumped on the call. I see that you picked this one up 2 days ago.
Yeah, but I was, I think, just right at this moment planning to actually work on it.
Okay, well, I'll leave that in that column then. Okay, so in ready for development, we've got 4 things at the moment. That's a total weight of 8. So we'll leave those alone and we'll go to the scheduling board.
What's the target there for the total weight?
It's 8 at the moment. That's in the ready for development column. Oh, the target. We're still trying to figure that out. I'm trying to schedule enough work to keep people busy until the following Friday. So if I look now at how much is in review and in development at the moment, I think that I would probably target about 15 that needs to be in ready for development, because it seems like you've got this job in master that you're looking at. Douglas has got 3. He's got 1, 2, 3 things, but I think he's got some space because 2 of them are blocked. Gabrielle's got this large one about object storage, which I don't want to give him anymore until that's done. Mike looks busy, and Ash is only back with us next Friday. So I think having any more than 15 on the queue would be too much. Because the idea is I want to put enough in it ready for development that there's probably going to be 1 or 2 things still outstanding next Friday. I don't want to get to the point where there's a whole 10 things that are still in the ready for development queue next Friday, because then it just feels like it's there's too much that's just waiting and hanging around. I feel like this is like just in time scheduling.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, it's normally you would say like it's the number of days in a week times the number of people available, but of course you have in-depth and then it's not true, because you have to estimate how much work is done on the in-depth items. That's to estimate, I guess.
Yeah, and I think that's the challenging piece, is just how much is actually in progress. But I figure this is also only the first few weeks that we've been doing this, so we'll get better at it and we'll be able to say in about a month or 2's time with certainty this is how much needs to be in that column. So having a look at the scheduling board, I see that the checklist for how to add new data types is closed. So I just wanted to have a quick look, because I was quite excited to see that one's finished. It's just nice to have a list of what's in the system and how that's working. Okay, right. So we've got these things in the open column. We've got 16 of them. And Fabian usually leaves them in priority order. So we'll start at the top. Verify uploads on GeoPrimary, including the non-Geo instances. And dry up the checksum code a bit, e-tag invalidation. Okay, so I'm going to dig into this one because when we were talking about this, there seemed to be a list of things that needed to happen in order. And I'm looking for the epic of work because that had the list of the stuff that needed to get done. Okay, so we were going to do the dry up checksum code a bit first. So let's pull that over into active because that was some technical data we needed to get rid of that should hopefully make some other pieces easier. Then we were going to do verify uploads on the primary first was the next thing. So let's pull that over. I see that's still quite big. Oh, I've already opened it. I see that's still quite big. So I'm just going to scroll down and see if there's any note left about why it was big. Okay, so the notes about why it was big was because there were at least 3 pieces here about handling the local files, handling the object storage case, and then improving the model to handle mismatches. So because this object storage case is there, and there is currently this thing about object storage that's in progress still, I'm a bit hesitant to pull over verify uploads because of that thing there. So what I'm thinking is either that needs to be pulled across with a block on this, or we just wait another week before we pull that over. Decisions. I think what I'll do is I'll pull it over, but I'll say that the handle object storage case is blocked on that other piece of work. So let me quickly find that link. Okay. So I've pulled this over into scheduling. Okay, that's done. So if I go back to the build board now, that is probably at 15. And I need to get this resolved where this doesn't drag straight across. I'll add that to my to-do list as well. Okay, that goes up there. Okay, we're at 20 now, so I'm not going to put in any more in here because I think that's a fair piece of work to get started with, or to continue with. Now I'm going to have a look at the bug board.
Would the rate of the verification of uploads be lower when object storage is not taken into account?
Well, I'm thinking that I'm going to leave it at 11 because the object storage piece still needs to get done as part of this work. But I'm hoping that people are able to start on the local files and improving the model first and then do the object storage piece. So
yeah, I guess this issue needs to be split up anyway, because that's the policy. When it's bigger than 10, it has to be split up, and then
yeah. So either we need, I mean, it's clear that this needs to be done. I mean, what we said here is we should do this as 2 MRs, but keep one issue for both the local files and the object storage. But it feels like this one, improve the model to handle mismatches. Do you think that that should be a separate issue? I'm not completely familiar with the code around these models here.
Yeah, me neither. Sorry.
Okay. So I'm just having a think about what to do with this one, because when we had the call last time, doing this as two MRs sounded acceptable, but I can't remember about the improved model piece, if that should be done as a separate issue. And also optimizations in object storage should be kept away from this. I think what I'm also going to do is just ask that whoever picks this up just pings me when they do it, and we can talk through how to split this, because I think we can proceed with this. I just want the last clarification of whoever picks this up to make the decision about how they want to separate this out. Okay. So yeah, that's a total of 20. Yeah, there's that one really large one. So whoever picks it up can give me a ping and we can chat through it a bit further. Cool. Okay, next one is the bug scrub board. And today I will make the technical debt board as well. Right, bug scrub. So what I'm checking for here is I'm looking for if there's any new P1s or customer pluses that have come up. And I don't like seeing closed things, so I'll just close that. Okay, right, customer plus. This does not honor the data directory. And creates a new one, leaving the symlink pointing to the old data directory. It was opened a year ago, but I think we've still seen this, right? Okay, so what I'm going to do with this one, even though a lot of the comments are a year old, it seems that since Stan's already had a comment on this that was about a week ago when we asked for some feedback on this, I'm going to put this into the board so that it can get picked up. Although we do need the weight still to figure out this. So because also this is a bug that we're not exactly sure what the issue is or what is going to be required to fix this. It should really be living on the plan board. And I see that it is on the plan board. So I'm just going to bounce back to the plan board and check that I can find it there. There it is in solution validation. Okay, so I'm just checking that I've got the right one. Okay, so we have pinged Gabriel for input here. I know that he's concentrating on the object storage, so I'm going to leave that one alone. And when he's ready, we'll get a reply on that. Okay, so that's P1s and customer plus taken care of. There's no P2s, so I'm going to bounce back to customer. Okay, we don't have a prioritization here. All the other ones do. So the reason for looking at the bug board is just to see if there's anything urgent that needs to get scheduled immediately. So that's come up that I might not have been aware of last week. And also just to spend about 15 minutes going through the bugs to groom them, basically getting them ready for work. But obviously, if there's anything in Customer Plus or P1, I want to pull those over straight away. All right, after enable FTW, the tables were not automatically refreshed. I remember talking about this last week, and a lot of the conversation was a year old. Then there were a couple of new additions where the tables were not refreshed. Okay. So, Tone, I think I could also use your input on process here. So sometimes with bugs, you need to do a lot of research and investigation as to what actually went wrong. But once you've done the research, it's fairly straightforward to know, or it's in some cases, obviously, straightforward to know what needs to be done about it. And you just fix it then and there, and it's done. And it feels like what we're actually trying to do here is then put it through the plan process to put it into schedule to then get it built, which actually means that there'll be a break between researching it and fixing it. And I'm wondering if bugs like this just need to go straight onto the building board rather than going through the plan phase.
Yeah, so part of the building would be investigating the bug. That's what you're saying.
Yeah,
I agree.
Just to keep that
like in depth is being like it's in research and it's someone is working on it. That doesn't mean he's typing code, but he or she is trying to look into it and see what's happening. Because indeed, the bug fix might be just a 2-line change or something like that.
Yeah, and once you've already spent all of that time context switching everything in to find the problem, it would be a shame to then lose that, to have to context switch it all in again 2 weeks later when it's actually scheduled.
Yeah, or try to report to someone how to fix it. That would be also inefficient.
Yeah, so I think what I'm going to do with this is I'm just going to schedule it.
I had the same feeling when I saw that item, that it should be scheduled and someone should pick it up and see what's happening.
I'm just going back to the build board so I can see that I've done it right. Okay, there it is. It's showing up correctly. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to take a look at one more, and then I'm going to go on to the technical deck board instead. Oh, right, this is where we couldn't actually start it, and this has been affecting the tests. I vote we close this issue as a long history dating back over 12 months and raise a new issue when we see the job failures again. Okay, I support that. I will say so and close the issue. Okay. Right, let's make a technical debt board. Okay. Create new board. Geo technical debt scrub. I'm just seeing how this one was built. So this one was using any milestone, geo, and bug. So I'm going to do any milestone, geo, and technical debt. Okay, we have 39 items. What I'm also going to do just because I'm interested about the status of this labeling business. I'm just going to change it and see if we still have 39 items there. Save. Let's see if we still have 39. 38. Okay, I'm going to change it back for now because there's obviously one missing. But maybe there's one missing because it's assigned to someone else as well. Let's do this way. Oh, and technical debt. Let's add that. I like how there are 3 technical debt labels at the moment. Okay, 39 issues. So I'm expecting that there's going to be one that has 2 groups in it. And I wonder if it's that one. Yes. Oh, there's a couple. Okay, I'm just thinking about how I'm going to find this.
I think I saw it over there. Now I lost it again. It was on the second page, I guess.
Oh, last.
Yeah.
I've reordered things. Are you talking about this one, improve our base service class?
I wasn't, but then I might have missed it.
I'm going to try to do it like this. I'm going to try to do this. I'm going to try changing this label here to be thankfully it's only 39, so it should be easy enough to spot, hopefully. Dry up checksum code a bit is the one that's missing. You see there, it doesn't have the geo label. Okay, that means I can change the technical debt board to be with using group geo, and that's fine. Okay. Because the one that's missing is the checksum code, which we've already scheduled. So that must be why it's not showing up. Yeah, at least with only 39 items, when it's 200 of them that you have to look through, then we'd have to do it a different way. Okay, right, technical debt. How are we going to prioritize this? I think it looks like we've already got some priority labels here. So for now, let's just add lists that are the P1, P2, P3, and P4 items. And let's see what that leads us to see. Okay.
It's nice to see you juggle with this. I'm not used to this.
So it's nice to see me what?
Juggle with this, how you're so handy with it.
But there it is, dry up checksum code a bit. So that one's shown up. Okay, I'm not going to, we'll figure out where the one item was later on. We'll go back to that. Okay, so now what we are going to do, what are we going to do here? Right.
Which one was ready for development?
Dry up checksum code. So we also don't need, so when it's ready for development, although we've got some ones, so we've got some ones here that are also ready for development. So I need to refresh my memory about how that build board is created, because those ones are definitely not there. Sorry, I was expecting to open it in the little column on the right hand side. This is the Kanban build board, and it's ready for development. And this board is any milestone with the label of Geo active. Okay. So this is ready for development, but it probably doesn't have the Geo active business on it. This code is not obvious, and I think the class has to be documented a month ago. Okay, so I think what we need to do here is also add a column which is the ready for development for now, because I think that some people have been pulling stuff into that state. There it is. Okay. So this one is already active. It's a pity we can't use not statements in this, in how to create the board, because we want and not active. Okay, so let's see. That one is already in the board because it's got active, so we'll put that.
Maybe we should remove the milestone with no milestone label, then they would fall off. Would that help or not?
So I'm just trying to get this to the top of the board. I think if we have no milestone, that thinking. But this dry up checksum code a bit, I don't think has a milestone on it. Yeah, no milestone. Because it's when we know that it's going to actually make the milestone, we'll assign the milestone in. So I think for now I'm just going to leave the milestone piece separate. So for these other ones that are in ready for development, I think that these actually need to be showing up in the scheduling board for the next conversation. So I'm going to open all of them, 3, 4, and check if we can put them into the scheduling board. I'm also having another think now, because even if some things are ready for development, it's a question of if now is the right time to do them. Like ideally we should be doing the most important items of technical debt, not just the ones that are ready to be done. So if I look at the 4 that we've got here, I'd argue that the ones that are the most recent are probably the ones that have been frustrating the most recently. So I think those are the ones that definitely make sense to be scheduled the soonest, because I would prefer to always be tackling the most important pieces of technical debt. Sorry, I'll be right back at my machine. The dog's just scratching the door. I'll be right back. 1 second. Okay, I'm back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to schedule the stuff that's the most recent ready for development work, because I'd like to try and to get into that habit of if we get technical debt, we schedule it, we take care of it, and then we'll figure out separately how to handle the stuff that's slightly older. So I'm going to put on here Geo Scheduling and take off the ready for development. Geo Scheduling. No, that's right. Just put in Geo Scheduling. Okay, then I'm going to go back to the scheduling board and check that that one base sync service shows up. There it is. Okay. Right, the other one that was recent was this one. So I'm going to add the scheduling here. Okay. So I'm going to also add a list here that is the scheduling list. I'll see what it looks like. Okay, I'm going to move that all the way over. I think what this gives is it just shows us what's actually scheduled to get worked on. But I think this board's going to change over time because I can see us needing to make some changes as the process changes, as the process evolves, I think is the right word. Okay, so going back to the build board, I'm just double checking that there's definitely enough to get done for the week. And I think I'll end the meeting early if that's the case. So yeah, there's still a fair amount in development, and I think there's a sizable amount in ready for development. So I think that's probably enough for this meeting. Great. Cool. Well, Tone, do you have any questions or anything you wanted to ask about? Or
No, this is awesome. It's really great to see this.
cool. Well, thank you so much for joining the call. It was nice to not have to just talk to myself. Although I'm quite happy to do that. It's I still think it's good to follow this process every Friday, even if it is just one person talking through how they're thinking about it. Because then, if there are any questions, it's on the recording.
Yeah, it's a little bit dog debugging yourself when you're juggling with the issues.
Yeah, I suppose it's also sorry.
You upload these also or not?
Sorry, say that again.
You also upload these or not?
I do. I just forgot to upload the one last Friday because I needed to take my MacBook in for repair. And as the video was finished converting, I shut the MacBook and left to go take it to the Apple store and completely forgot the recording on it. So unfortunately, last week's one is not there, but I'll convert this recording now and upload it.
Yeah, great.
Cool. Awesome. Well, thanks so much. I'm going to stop the recording and get it converted. And yeah, hope you enjoy your running race this afternoon.
Thanks.
Cool.
See you.
Chat later. Bye.